Hi everybody and welcome to the first episode of this new series called T.N.T, where I'm going to discuss some thoughts and tactics in Battlefield 4. Now one of the most annoying and rage-inducing things in any FPS game is being killed by a camper. But can camping, quote-unquote, be beneficial? And if so, what's the difference? In this episode we will be comparing two types of stationary play, camping and plugging. Now, in order to set up the meat of this discussion, let's first look at a few important aspects of any tactical shooter. Every well-designed map will consist of major and minor lanes. These are high-traffic areas that lead to and from the objectives. Now, these lanes are defined the easiest on a linear game mode like Rush, and to further simplify things, we'll use Metro as our map, seeing as it's also a very linear map with very well-defined lanes. So we can see the three main lanes here. The attacking team has two choices. They can play slow and sneaky, trying to flank around these lanes and get behind the defenders, or they can use brute force and try to collapse one or more of the defensive lanes. A good defensive team, therefore, will set themselves up in such a way as to block and dominate these attacking lanes. I call this plugging a lane, and if you and your teammates can set up strong, thought-out plugs, attackers are going to find it very hard to push onto the objective. A good plug utilizes cover, superior angles, and team play. However, it's not impossible for one solid player to plug an entire lane by himself. Now, if you're attacking and you are on the receiving end of this defensive tactic, I bet you it won't be long before someone in your team is going to cry campers. So what is the difference between plugging and camping? Well, in my opinion, the two fundamental differences are intent and overall effect. The intent of a camper is to net himself as many kills as possible, never mind the rest of his team and whether they lose or win. His overall effect is pretty small unless he is a gaming god and single-handedly takes out 30 or 40 players without dying. Someone playing a tactical plug intends to shut down a lane, stopping enemy players from pushing the objective, and that actively contributes to the win or loss of their team. Their overall effect is normally substantial, and I find these kind of players not caring too much about their final KD. Now let's look at two examples of camping versus plugging. I asked three of my friends and fellow clan members to help me out here. So Mr. Beefy and I have set up camp with our bipod LMGs on this island here, and it may look like we have a good side angle on the enemy, but from this distance we are pretty useless. We have no clear sight on either MCOMs, and any half-decent player will take us out or force us to take cover, making our overall effect pretty small. We are by no means effectively stopping the enemy push on this far lane, and we are way too far from the action to be of any real value to our team. We may get a few easy kills, but I guarantee we won't last long on this little island. Let's look at that from the opposite point of view. You can see that even though I take some shots from the campers, I can easily take cover even right on the MCOM. Now this next example shows Prince and Banjo setting up a plug on the second set of MCOMs. Now from this position you can plug two of the major incoming lanes, and if they set themselves up correctly, they can stall or even stop the enemy push completely and just bleed them of tickets. At the spot they have very good cover, they have excellent angles, especially on the left here, and they can act as reliable spawn points for their teammates. You'll see that it's very hard for Beefy and I to push up on this right lane because their plug just has superior angles. And the same thing goes on the left here. We pretty much have to approach in the open, our cover's very far back, they've got great cover and all they're going to do is stall us or just kill us every time. Now, having said all of that, the line between camping and plugging can be pretty thin, so I would love to hear what you guys think in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, please subscribe, give us a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.